Okay, so I wanted to keep the conversation going about database management. I really want December to be focused around how are we segmenting our database? How are we fine tuning some of the touch points? Where are the most emotionally driven touch points, meaning like when you could ask for referrals or ask for reviews? But we've got to get this groundwork set up flawlessly because I do believe as soon as rates start to come down a little bit more, coupled with when the spring home buying season hits, I want y'all to be prepared. So I just attended my third Todd Duncan High Trust Sales Academy. And it's funny, each time that I go, it's almost like, when you're climbing up a ladder and you're on the first step and you can only see so far because you're only on the first step. Then as you keep growing and maybe you're advancing in your career, you're building a team, once you get to step 10, your view and your vantage point is just so much greater than what it was the first time. And so every time that I've gone to his academy, I always learn something new and then I kind of debify it. But I like to give credit where credit's due. And this was my old original playbook from the very first time that I went. So old school, I had written it out of what my purpose, my vision, my objectives were, uh, all the way into just business goals and production goals. But the thing that I want to share with you all today is this part here. It looks like a web of a mess. You guys can screenshot this if you want. But what I did is I took the same thought process from a different class that I had taken from the Keller Williams University. So when I lived in Houston, I used to drive to the Austin campus and I would attend classes with Gary Keller himself and Mark Willis, who was the CEO. And one of the things that they showed us is this was Walt Disney's business plan. And you can see in the very lower corner, it says 1957. This was his business plan then. And you'll see it starts in the middle. And so every new film created this web of opportunity. And how I want this to be translated into the mortgage space today is this is a lead. Every lead has all these different spigots of opportunities if we just got more intentional with taking a complete thorough loan app, which may mean even including the life insurance section, looking at tax returns. Are there dependents? Could you put the dependents in a CRM where it even has their birthday? Do you know how much that means to a family to send a birthday card to a child of theirs on the day of their birthday? That's going to keep the emotional connection, that lender for life, so that you can continue to build a business model off of referrals. Because let me tell you, Cody Hartridge, who's with Cornerstone, he was on stage and he doesn't even take leads from real estate agents or referral sources that don't already know his process or that work with him, which is kind of mind blowing. Trust me, I poked holes in this and I asked all kinds of questions. And I'm like, so you mean to tell me you would turn down business? He's like, yes, because it actually cost me more trying to teach them our process when we would rather work with fewer agents and go deeper and learn this circle of cash flow type model where then you're generating referrals from your database and your database is so wowed because of your experience, not just during the loan process, but especially after the loan process, where you have these little non-paid salespeople working for you out in the community that you serve. So that is the lens or the filter that I want you to get even more diligent with your database. And maybe this is training your LP1s or your assistants to maximize opportunity. So if you get asset account statements, is there a wealth advisor? If there's a divorce decree, is there a divorce attorney? Like, where could you apply this same model, but looking for every lead? Where is there potential affinity partners or power partners that sit in front of 100 people a day who could be referring you out if you were intentional about setting appointments with them so that you could learn each other's business and find ways where you could refer the business out to one another. So estate attorneys, basically this was my list, guys. I sat and I brainstormed and I thought, where are all the, when it comes to owning a home, where are the endless possibilities? So Nannies and babysitters, OBGYNs. I've actually hit on this a couple times where if you know someone's expecting or they're pregnant, the chances when someone's pregnant with their first child, that's when they're most likely willing to buy a home. It's not usually your fourth. From someone who has four kids, that fourth one you can just shove in a closet somewhere and tell them to hush up and, survival of the fittest, right? Now, I'm joking, obviously, but thinking of life events, so OBGYNs, wedding planners, apartment complex leasing managers, asking if the apartment complex is at max capacity. Because if so, then maybe they would allow you to host a home buying seminar because they want to get those current renters out so they can get new renters in and they can charge them the premium prices. Obviously, real estate agents, builders, maid services. Sometimes they're aware of people who are staging or cleaning the home or getting the home ready for possible selling, pool builders, remodeling services, family psychologists and counselors. Think about it. Sometimes that's where people go first before divorce. Alarm company, HR corporations. Do they have a real estate team or a real estate incentive for their employees? Because remember, you have to think like they do. So, what would be beneficial to an HR department head? Well, it's very expensive to recruit, train, and retain top talent. So, what things could you provide to the employees that make them more loyal to want to work for that company? CPAs, again, financial advisors, estate attorneys, divorce attorneys, preschools, life coaches or business coaches. So, I really want y'all to just start changing the way that you think when it comes to now, hopefully, since the last video, we talked about all the different ways you could segment your database from where they are in the sales cycle. But now I want your focus to be creating your own Walt Disney model where everyone starts here. It doesn't matter if they qualify or not, guys. Even if a lead doesn't qualify, it's like, how do you justify the expense of that credit report or that LP1 who had to run the numbers and send the email and the time it took for you to even be on the phone? Like, let's look for ways we can maximize opportunity, but you got to have a plan. So, as you finish out this week and before we finish out the end of the year, I want you to start thinking a little bit bigger, a little bit bolder. And now you can set appointments and be intentional with who you partner with as power partners while not just relying on real estate agents. But I will say, don't fall flat on the post closing service, meaning you got to continue to date your clients even after you close. Fall in love with your clients if you need to and your partners. Doesn't just have to be real estate agents. I did just look at the recent NAR home buying report, and that is where the bulk of where most lenders are still getting their business is real estate agents, but also database and referrals from database. So track your numbers, know where your business is coming from, and then let me know what questions you guys have when it comes to building your own Walt Disney. Take care.